Quick note before we get started here, guys. The leak we got last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was now, hasn't proven to be fake. That really doesn't mean much. I did make a couple videos kind of commenting on it, in the past couple prediction videos. They're just predictions though, so it really doesn't make a difference. It's just something to speculate and think about, and I'm 100% okay with that. Anyway, hasn't been fake, so don't get too hopeful, but it was a leak. We really couldn't expect much from it anyway. Speaking of the prediction videos though, this is not one of those. This video we will be talking about the 3 games we have so far, comparing them, what was good, what was bad, all that jazz. As always, be sure to leave a comment, tell me how to get my, things you like about the videos, other stuff like that, things I could improve on, and yeah, let's get right into it.
Get behind me!
Before I actually start comparing them, it is worth pointing out the order in which I played the games, because that will, obviously most people will be more biased towards whatever game they started with. What do you want to call it? Nostalgia factor, exposure, whatever you want to call it. I just want to lay it all on the table. The first Borderlands game I played was Borderlands 2. Me and my friend, we loved it. We played the hell out of it. We beat it so many times. But we felt we were missing some of the story, so we went out and bought Borderlands 1, played through it, and about halfway through we just had to force ourselves to finish. It's just, the improvements they made in Borderlands 2 just made 1 look honestly terrible in comparison. Like I said, that's just because I played the second one first. I'm sure playing the first one for the first time was amazing for a lot of people, and that's why it got so popular to make a sequel. And then after that, obviously, we waited until the pre-sequel came out, and then I played through the pre-sequel. So I'll put that on the table. Borderlands 2 is my first Borderlands, so I will be a little more biased towards that, but I do have reasoning to back it up, so don't just write this off as, oh, he just loves Borderlands 2, 1 was so much better, rah, rah, rah. Just watch the video, maybe I can change your mind. Now, because pre-sequel is very similar to 2 in a lot of ways, I'm going to start off by just saying the changes between 1 and 2. Obviously, there's a lot. One of the biggest ones is tone. Borderlands 1 was a lot more serious. Borderlands 2 is a little more lighthearted, with the comedy and just the story in general. And I, for one, enjoyed that. It seemed like Borderlands 1, not necessarily dark, but just the humor was weird. It came at odd times, I thought. Like I said though, I kind of forced myself through it. I only played through it once, so I don't remember it that much. But I just remember the humor just being off about it. And Borderlands 2, I think, really nailed the humor and the story and all that stuff. Another big change, obviously, gameplay. Borderlands 1 just seems a little clunky, and that's perfectly understandable, obviously. Like I said, first game, they're working through it. They realized what they did wrong, what they had to improve on for Borderlands 2. So I'm not bashing 1 at all in this video, because obviously without 1 we wouldn't have 2, and we wouldn't have 3 coming up. So I do want to point that out. I have so much respect for Borderlands 1. It is a fun game. Like I said, it's really fun, don't get me wrong. But I felt like I was just kind of spoiled playing 2 first. So I have nothing wrong with Borderlands 1. It is a great game. But Borderlands 2 just seemed to do things better because, they learned, they adapted, they figured out, okay, this works, this doesn't, we should improve on this, this is okay. Yeah. Now, where Borderlands 2 saw the flaws of Borderlands 1 and improved on it, the pre-sequel more said, okay, people like wacky shit. What else can we just throw on this wall and stick? Let's just put everything we can into random nonsense and see what people like. And I don't think they play tested much of it, because a lot of things got old really fast. Let's just start with the things that are obvious. The low gravity. It was fun at first. I was really excited for it, seeing in the the trailers and the build up to it, like, yeah, that looks awesome. I would love Borderlands in low gravity. And then I actually played it, and it was really fun for the first couple hours. And then I realized it was just kind of slow, and honestly just walking across the moon was just slow and took a lot longer than I expected. And the vehicles really didn't make up for it, because that's one of the biggest flaws in any of the Borderlands games, are just how terrible the vehicles are. And the talking. The other thing I got excited for was, oh, the Vault Hunters can talk now. And they did a little bit in, 1 and 2, but, well, mostly 2. But I'm like, okay, yeah, actual story events where the Vault Hunters have scripted things to say. That would be really neat. I was excited for that as well. And they just wrote off as just odd jokes. Like, they just, okay, silent for the whole game. And then at one story event, they just say one line that doesn't pay off at all and just really isn't that funny. I mean, obviously, humor is not it's not white and black. There's definitely shades of gray in humor, but I just did not find that very funny most of the time. And it was not as amusing as I hoped it would be. I did beat the pre-sequel, don't get me wrong, but back on the PS3. Now I got a PS4 now, and playing the Handsome Collection, that's what this gameplay is of, is Handsome Collection on PS4. This level 18 is my highest level, which is really kind of sad. And that just kind of shows what kind of game it is, because I played the hell out of Borderlands 2 even after I beat it to death on PS3, got a PS4, got the Handsome Collection, played it again so many times. It's just that great of a game. Pre-sequel, not so much. It was really just not much memorable about it. Everything got taken to a max that really shouldn't have been taken in. Claptrap as a Vault Hunter sounded kind of like a good idea at first, but got old fast, like everything else in this game seems to do. Got annoying. They took, Claptrap. He was a great character. He was annoying, but annoying for fun, on purpose. In this game, he was just up and annoying. The DLC was absolute trash, again, featuring Claptrap, because hey, everyone loves Claptrap, let's just shove him down people's throats. Handsome Jack should have died in 2. Now, I love Handsome Jack, I've stated that in my part 2 video on the predictions for Borderlands 3. I love Handsome Jack, he is the best video game villain that I can remember in recent history. But he should have just died in 2. 2 should have been the only game he was featured in. He should have been mentioned in this game, and maybe even Tales from the Borderlands. His part was pretty good in there too, but he should not have played this big of a role in the pre-sequel. It was honestly just laughable. Legendaries aren't memorable. There's no good legendary I can go back and say, yeah, that was a fun gun to get. I liked that gun. Not one comes to mind. The lasers were pretty neat, except the problem is the different variations of lasers. One was basically a shotgun, one was basically a sniper, one was basically an assault rifle, and you got the one that was like a Ghostbuster beam, which was hard to control and kind of a pain in the ass. So it was a neat idea that just kind of flopped. Also, most of the Vault Hunters in this game were kind of garbage as well. Athena, I think, is the best one. She's pretty fun to play as, but that's really all I can say. Now, I did like Cryo. The introduction of freezing was a good idea, and they did handle it pretty well. I will give them that. Credit where credit's due. They did that well.
See ya.
Now, it sounds like I'm just bashing this game, think it's terrible, oh, it's horrible. And that's not true. It was more just a disappointment, because like I said, I love Borderlands 2. Then hearing we were getting a new one, we were so excited. Oh man, I didn't even really care that it was made by a different studio, or a different division of 2K. I was alright with that. Until I actually got it, and it was really just more disappointing. Everything that they promised was there, but almost too much of it. Everything that sounded like a good idea was a good idea. They just had to dial it back a little bit. They almost went too big with everything too fast. Which sounds like a weird complaint, but if you played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, I know I am giving you a lot of crap. A lot of it is deserved, but even Randy Pitchford himself said in an interview about Borderlands 3, well, we could send out another pre-sequel. Like, even he realizes, and I mean, obviously everyone at the studio knows, it was just kind of a, here's another Borderlands to tide you over until the next big one. And that really is what this game is. So I can't bash on it too much because it's just supposed to give us a little bit of story between the first two games. And I'm okay with that if it didn't go as ambitious as it did. If that makes sense. Like, it introduced so many new things, thinking it'd be, oh, this will be the best Borderlands, no doubt. And it just flopped on all fronts. And it really was more of just a game to tie us over until 3. And it really wasn't, because it's been so long since 3 and this game came out that I honestly forgot most of what happened in this game. And that really is sad for a Borderlands game. Obviously, Borderlands 2 isn't a perfect game, and it really wouldn't be fair if I just bashed 1 in pre-sequel without even mentioning the flaws of Borderlands 2. There are quite a few. I really don't want to go too deep into them because it is my favorite game, and I really don't want to poke too many holes in it. But biggest thing that they need to fix moving forward into 3 and beyond, gotta fix vehicles. There are some side quests in Borderlands 2 that when I come across them, I really try to avoid doing them just because they are a pain in the butt. In a perfect world, every quest is something I want to do every time. There are some jokes that get a little played out that need to stop sooner, but like I said, that's a whole humor thing. Some people find that hilarious, other people find it annoying, and it is hard to find that balance, especially in games, and especially in games like Borderlands. They found a good balance for the most part, but every game's for different people. I'm sure people like 1 more. Maybe it's because of the nostalgia factor, they played that first. Maybe it's because it is, a little toned down, it's a little more difficult at times, and people prefer that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can see perks with pre-sequel. People might like flying around, shooting down, raining hell. It is fun. But I just found it got old quick, and that's just my opinion. Obviously, you're entitled to your own opinion, and that's 100% okay. To wrap it up, guys, like I just stated, and like I say in most of my videos, these are all just my opinion. You're obviously entitled to your own. I hope you have your own. I don't want you just going with whatever someone else says. Be sure to leave a comment, tell me your opinion. Which Borderlands did you like more? It can differ. I personally like 2, as I made that abundantly clear, but like I also said, I can understand why people would like other ones more. Also, be sure to leave a comment, just tell me how to make my videos better. I want to get better, and your comment helps a lot. Be sure to, like, subscribe if you like these kind of videos, and be sure to check out my prediction for Borderlands 3 videos. Should be wrapping that series up pretty quickly. Only a couple videos left in that. And be sure to check out my other channel, YC Games. Me and my friends just, play video games, have fun, funny moments, stuff like that. And the last thing, be sure to leave a comment telling me what other videos you want to see. Like I said, the predictions video playlist is wrapping up pretty quickly, and need more videos to make. Doesn't have to be about Borderlands, video games in general, other things, who knows, who cares. See you in the next one.